You've been lied to about the Talmud. Here are just a few of my citations. Okay, got that? Good. The Talmud is not just a single book that you can sit down and read in 1 or 2 days. People say the Talmud, they're referring to one of two. There is the Babylonian Talmud, or the Talmud Bavli, that was compiled in roughly the 6th century. And there's also the Palestinian, or Jerusalem Talmud, or the Talmud Yerushalmi, which was compiled earlier but is less extensive. When people say the Talmud, they're usually referring to the Babylonian Talmud, and it's 63 tractates. This is what a Talmud looks like. Yeah. And this is what a single page looks like. This is called a blat. Do you see that? Now, every single thing on that page is something different. We have a tradition in Judaism called daf yomi, where we study 1 page per day with a group, with a partner, and it takes 7.5 years to finish it. Because the whole point of it is to debate and to dig into the text. The Talmuds are multi-volume texts of oral Torah compiled into the Mishnah and commentaries compiled into the Gemara. And I'm going to read a quote from a secular source because people don't trust me to accurately report on my own religion. So quote, "The Talmud records the teachings, opinions, and disagreements of thousands of rabbis and Torah scholars, collectively referred to as Chazal, on a variety of subjects including halacha, which is Jewish law, Jewish ethics, philosophy, customs, history, and folklore, among other topics." For example, there's a whole section on dream interpretation. And this isn't to say there aren't hard or difficult topics within the Talmud that we have to reckon with. We're looking at almost 2,000 years of writing from men. Obviously, there are difficult parts. And just because it was written doesn't mean modern Jews agree, because guess what? Even the rabbis of the time did not agree with each other. They would kick each other out of the study hall for being pedantic, for being annoying, for saying awful things. They would insult each other so atrociously. I don't know how it words. They would insult each other's mothers. They would compare dick sizes. One rabbi has an appendage 9 jugs long, in case you're wondering. And their arguments were recorded. One of my favorite disagreements goes, "May the merciful one save us from the following opinion, as your argument is illogical." And Rabbi Hanina replies, "On the contrary, may the merciful one save us from your opinion, as yours is the baseless one." The entire thing is subject to intense scrutiny and debate every single day by Jews who choose to engage with it, even though the vast majority of Jews in the world have never looked at the Talmud. Never. And so with all of that being said, then we have the fake infographics. A lot of you are falling for infographics made by Nazis who are claiming things are in the Talmud that aren't. They cite fake tractates that do not exist. For example, this really popular one says Gad Shas. That doesn't exist. That's like if I said, yes, the New Testament books. There's Matthew, there's Mark, there's Lady Gaga. You'd go, oh, that last one isn't real. And when they do mention real books in the Talmud, they just change it. And they know you're not going to double check. They know you're not going to do your research. You're just going to fall for it, hook, line, and sinker, because they're relying on the inherent bias you have to do it. And they love taking things widely out of context. For example, Rabbi A will say something that's really crappy, and then every other rabbi will be like, boo, no, we hate that. But they'll present it to you as if Rabbi A's opinion is agreed upon and the standard. So the next time you hear someone go, well, the Talmud says, think to yourself, is this a reliable person to be trusting about Jewish history, knowledge, culture, community, and tradition? If not, maybe take a second, and before you say it, I know I look like James Charles in that one picture, or maybe poo.